the president of Women in Hospitality Nigeria, Mrs. Justina Overt, members of the association, our guest speaker for today, Professor Wasiu Babalola, this lady I admire so much, Princess Adenike Adedoyin Ajayi, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture. My friend, Mrs. Oni, other guest speakers and panelists for today's discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, it is my pleasure to be part of Hospitality 4.0, organized by Women in Hospitality Nigeria, with the theme leveraging local experiences for hospitality and tourism growth in Nigeria. I want to start by commending the founders and leadership of Women in Hospitality Nigeria for setting up an association that is meant to unify and support women in the industry, hospitality sector in particular. The mission that you have to inspire and empower your members is very commendable. We have some statistics that has to do with women in hospitality. We're told by, I think, Julia Campbell that 55% of the entire workforce in hospitality are women. Another statistic says about 70. Someone now says that only about 11% of this number is in leadership position, is in management position. And I want to believe that an association like this will have one of its primary purpose and vision to raise these numbers. That beyond having a larger number than men in the hospitality industry, you should also aspire to have increase your number of those who are in the leadership position so that the impact will also water down. Every time I hear about growth in tourism in Nigeria, I become very worried. First of all, as voice of private sector tourism in Nigeria, and also as a practitioner. Very worried for many reasons. One of it could be that as a country, I get worried that the things we're supposed to do from the policymakers is not done. Where we're going to be in the future is not known. So every time we find the private sector initiative like this that is trying to contribute its quota to the growth of tourism in Nigeria, we need to greatly applaud them. Because there is nowhere tourism has thrived without strong government participation. Nowhere. And why we say this is because there are a lot of things in our industry that doesn't show that we understand that for the season and the times that we are, the lowest hanging fruit for this economy is tourism. Now, we have had various statistics. The other day, the CBN governor told us that 3.5% of our GDP is used as intervention during the COVID-19. Now, that is black and white. And we have a GDP total of about 432 or thereabout, $450 billion as a nation. Now, 3.5% of that would mean that over $15 billion is being pumped into our economy to resuscitate, activate, and bring some level of ameliorations, to the pains of COVID-19. And the question we want to ask, where did this money go to? Now, these are issues of our industry in our country Now, when you look at maybe African statistics, not even the global statistics, it is true that certain countries, about 6, 7 of them, Morocco, Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, contribute about 75% of African economy. Now, in that statistics, the other ones, except Nigeria, contributes to about 65% of African arrivals in tourism. Now, what that means is this: that's the same countries, arrivals, and the whole of West Africa doesn't have more than 10% arrivals. That means the only country that is not benefiting from that tourism is not forming its economic impact is Nigeria. And so that's where we need to at all times commend the initiative, the things private sector people are doing, the trainers, the experts, their contributions to our economy. We need to greatly, greatly appreciate that. Now, having said so, is our peculiar problems. And that's where, when I commend Lagos State, I have been around for a while. And I know that there was a time Cross River State was #1 in tourism in Nigeria. But today, now, Professor Wasiu was on that platform a few days ago. And we began to ask certain questions. Now, what's the impact of the Supreme Court judgment of 2013 on our economy and our tourism economy? Is great. But then the states now understand their role. Now that's where Lagos State has risen up. Today they have a tourism master plan, and I think they are trying to implement it. Now what they are doing with the Lagos, year-end, Expo, is to say, look, we now appreciate our strategic position as Lagos State, and we want the whole world during Christmas for 31 days, 42 days, to be part of Lagos event. I want you to understand what that will make to the economy of Lagos State. Now we have states who had begun earlier, contributed so much, and then because there's no flow in administration, these things are dropped. So it's pathetic, it's a problem, and so we need to commend those who are doing well. Women in hospitality, I commend what you're doing, gathering your experts, people together, so we can keep the discussion on. Because we're going to come to one day that Nigeria will certainly realize. Now we have the electric cars everywhere now. It's coming up. And so if we're still depending on oil, then we are not thinking about the future. I commend the association for putting this together. I won't stop commending Lagos State because they are doing well, because that is the truth. It's not because I'm here. And to also commend their strong partnership with the private sector. Now, we've never seen where some states appreciate the fact that they need private sector. When the current commissioner came in, she's not even from this industry in terms of her background. But we haven't seen in some years now, there hasn't been someone who has made this level of impact in the industry, like the commissioner represented, by the PS here. That means that any state that understands the place of private sector, we understand the other issues of not identifying credible persons to, partner with. It's always going to bring an added value to the industry. I believe also that WIN will grow and one day become part of the federation and add to the voice of private sector tourism in Nigeria. For FTAN, just in July I was elected as president. Now, what are we doing right now? We're strengthening the structures. We're setting up the zonal councils according to constitution. We're also strengthening the state committees. Now, the moment we have the 36 state coordinators properly strengthened, we have 7 vice presidents, properly strengthened, then we can get into advocacy. So when we speak from anywhere, there will be anchors of 36, coordinators of the federation, and there will be also anchors of all these, the regions. And at the end, we'll be able to raise our voice and begin to query certain things directly. For now, I want to appreciate the fact that I was invited here, and I also want to commend the organizers for what they are doing. This is adding to what we're talking about. Everyone needs to rise because government needs to understand that they need tourism for the future and now. Thank you for the privilege to be here. I'd like to commend you again. Thank you.